Hello friends, good afternoon to all of you. This is Kamal sir and you are watching me on Cracked English by Kamal sir. Dear friends, as you know, there are hundreds of poets all over the world. And some of the unique poets are there also. I am going to throw some light one of the famous American poets for his best for her best work, and the work is Success is Counted Sweetest. I am talking about Emily Dickinson. She wrote this poem in the year 1859 and she got it published in 1864. This poem deals with the universal message of success. Moreover, this poem is having three stanzas and each stanza is in a quatrain form. What do you mean by quatrain? Any stanza which is having four lines comes to be known a quatrain in the English language. So let me start this poem. And the name of the poem is Success is Counted Sweetest. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend the nectar, to comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. To comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all. Not one of all the purple host. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition, can tell the definition so clear of victory, can tell the definition so clear of victory. As he defeated dying, as he defeated dying, on whose forbidden ears, as he defeated dying, on whose forbidden ears the distant steams of triumph, the distant steams of triumph burst agonized and clear. The distant steams of triumph burst agonized and clear. The distant streams of triumph burst agonized and clear. So, dear friend, that was the recitation of the poem Success is Counted Sweetest. Now, I am going to explain it. And the expression here is first stanza Success is counted sweetest for those who never succeeded. According to the poet Emily Dickinson, success is a thing, sweetest thing, but it is for those persons who never tasted it. She means to say that who never achieved it. For those very failure persons, it is the sweetest thing. Just like in the next third and fourth line, she is explaining this thing to require success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. The word comprehend means to understand. Only that very person who can understand the value of something, that the value of something, of that very thing that he is not getting for such a long time. Otherwise, suppose if we get anything very easily in our very first attempt, we couldn't come to know the value of that very thing. Here, the poet is describing about thirst. A thirst is a feeling that can be imagined by a person who is thirsty. Suppose a person is there in some desert. He was having a parched throat, and according to his feelings, each and every drop of water is actually not a water, actually, it is a nectar in itself. That's why poet here described water to a nectar here. And that very thirsty person knows the value of water in that very position. Since he is or he was not getting that type of thing. And the thing here is water. So the poet here rightly describes that to comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. A person who is in some desert, he knows the value of water. On the other hand, a person who is on some source of water, the source may be a pond, the source may be a lake, source may be a river, source may be a sea, or even source may be an ocean. He doesn't come to know the value of water. That was the first quatrain. The next quatrain is in the second quatrain. This poet Emily Dickinson talks about the army. The army, that is a victorious army. In the second stanza, she talks about the victory, and in the following stanza, means third stanza, she talks about the failure, means defeat. So, next stanza, second stanza is not one of all the purple host, not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory. In earlier times, when the kings or emperors used to win some war, in order to show to others that we have won the war, they are having a purple flag. And they, after winning the war, host that very purple flag. In this way, they used to show to the world that we are the winners. We were the winners. So here, poet says that whosoever wins the battle or whosoever won the battle, they didn't know about the importance of success, about the importance of victory, about the importance of triumph. Not even a single soldier from the victorious side, they can better explain the meaning of success, since they won it in their very first attempt. They didn't have to struggle a lot. That's why they couldn't explain the definition of success or victory or triumph at all. On the other hand, a person who couldn't get the success, he or she knows the better meaning of it. So, in the last stanza, she talks about the defeating side. There are two sides of a coin. First is victory, and second is defeat. First is win, and second is steal. So, she is talking about the defeating side here in the last stanza. In the last stanza, she talks about that thing as he dying defeated. As he dying and defeated, on whose forbidden ears the distant stings of time burst agonized and clear. Here, third stanza, first line, as he defeated dying. In the third stanza, she talks about an army, a defeated army. Any king or any army which couldn't get any success in the battlefield itself. The soldier of that very army was defeated, and moreover, he was dying. Moreover, he was dying. In the battlefield, there were commotion of so many things. Commotion means hustle bustle, a lot of noise is coming from here and there. But that very dying soldier didn't hear anything properly. Forbidden ear means deaf ears. He couldn't get anything properly. He couldn't hear anything properly. But only one thing he got it very clearly. That thing is very audible to his ears, and that thing is none but the great commotion that was dwelt by the winning side, by the victorious army. That things comes to his ears, the distant stings of time burst agonized and clear. From a very distant place, from a very far away place, the sounds of that victorious army, the sounds of triumphs that were coming very clearly to his mind. All other things are not coming to his mind, coming to his ear easily. Why is it so? Since that person didn't get that very victory, didn't achieve his own goal. Actually, he was a failure in that very achievement. That's why he was missing that very moment. Although this victory is quite good to hear, the sounds are quite good to listen. But here the poet compares is to burst, B-U-R-S-T. Burst is a word that is used for the sound of a bomb. Here the defeating army, for the defeating army, for the defeating person, for the dying soldier, that very victorious sign proves to be a burst sound, proved to be a sound of a bomb, since he was on the other side of the war. If he was a victorious person, then that very sound could be good. But here, that person was dying. That's why he was, that's why he was thinking like that. He was thinking that very good sound to be a burst sound. Next is agonized and clear. Burst, agonized and clear. Agony means great pain. Here, that very victorious sound, good sound, proved to be great pain to the dying soldier. And moreover, the sound was very clear. The good triumphant sound that was coming from the other side, it was very clear, very audible to the dying soldier. In this way, Emily Dickinson proves that success is counted sweetest for those who never succeed. Only those persons who never achieve success, they can better tell the meaning of success. In the very first line, success is counted sweetest, Emily Dickinson uses the literary device metaphor. She is comparing success with other thing, so it's a metaphor here. Next, she is also using symbolism here by using the word nectar, Necter, and next she was using the word purple, Purple. By using these two words, she is using a literary device called symbolism. The theme of the poem is success can be better explained by those persons who never tasted it in spite of doing their best. Success can be better explained by those persons who never achieved it in spite of doing their best. So, dear friend, that is all about the poem Success is Counted Sweetest for Those Who Never Succeed. I hope you will certainly understand this poem. But don't forget to subscribe and to like to all my videos and to my channel Cracked English by Kamal Sir. Thank you.